I started sewing when I was in grade 4. I started making tiny little, I guess, toy animals and felt little animals when I was a kid. And in grade 4, I guess I realized that you could start making clothing from like bought patterns. So I started using them, and my mom enrolled me for classes with a little old lady in the community that taught us how to sew from home sewing patterns. So I think my first project was like a jogging suit. It was really ugly, and I think I have it somewhere at home. This bright royal blue entirely fleece. It was terrible. But when I graduated from high school, I really wanted to go into something arts-based, and I was kind of stuck between photography and fashion. And photography was moving from darkroom to only digital, so darkroom had become this option that wasn't available anymore for me to do as a career, so I ended up siding with fashion, and it kind of just went from there.
And how would you define your personal style, and if you feel like that's something that's reflected in your work?
Colorful, patterned, I guess, personality-wise, kind of enigmatic and all over the place, because there's never something I like for a long period of time. It's just constantly changing. And I definitely have an aesthetic quality. It's probably known for patterns and mixing brights together. So there's never like a garment that doesn't have at least one or two patterns mixed on it. So I think that's probably the big thing is patterns. Yeah, I love them.
And what was your inspiration for the pieces you created for the show?
I kind of, well, with this collection, I really look to Asia and their traditional textiles. So jacquard weaving, different kinds of ikat loom weaving, and just sort of pulled from that and then combined it with sort of this Japanese street style aesthetic. So a lot of really bright colors, but then I wanted to kind of make a lot of the pieces a little bit more sophisticated. So I started looking to Europe's kind of style influence as well. So it's Japanese street style, but made with traditional Asian textiles from all over Asia, and then kind of toned down a little bit for a more European market.
And what tips would you give anybody who's looking to get started in fashion and design?
Be good at talking to people, because that's a big one. You've got to talk a lot, and you have to talk to a lot of people, a lot. You have to be like good at working with people, because none of this gets pulled off alone. There's always going to be favors that you're going to need to pull in from everywhere. So all those connections you make with different people who are in different skill sets, keep them close, because some of the resources that you can pull from that are really good. I guess also just be prepared for the work. It's really not about pretty things and shopping. It's about meeting deadlines and marketing yourself and marketing your work and just kind of selling yourself, which gets really, really hard sometimes. You don't always want to put your game face on every day, but you have to, especially for shows and events. It's all about.
You're put into a Freaky Friday situation where you can switch lives with anyone for one day. Who would it be and why?
Oh, I think it's stuck between Kenzo or Anasui, because they're probably the most influential designers in my work. Just the colors and the patterns. I guess I'd want to kind of see the way they work, and to be inside a Kenzo studio would probably be pretty amazing. I just love their clothing, so I guess for me I'd like to be there and see what they do and how they do it and kind of how they've gained such amazing success. So that would be a learning experience for me.
And where can readers find out more about you and your work?
I'm on Facebook. You can find me, I guess, just by my name, or you can look up my brand name, which is Cute and Curious. That's C-U-T-E, and is spelt out, and Curious is C-U-R-I-O-U-S. I'm also on Etsy as well. I have a small store on there.